Hi friends, today's project is a very easy shawl. I have used a beautiful yarn which is Debbie Bliss Merino's yarn. It's it's a wool with acrylic and cashmere, and my hook is a US H8 or 5 mm crochet hook. And to start making this shawl, we are going to make a rectangle, and we are going to crochet 99 chains. For this video I'm going to make a small sample, so I'm going to chain less now at the beginning. And um, I want to tell you that the width of our shawl is 20 inches and our length is 70 inches. So as long as we chain a multiple of 3 for our foundation chain, we are going to yarn over and insert our hook in the second chain from the hook and work a half double crochet. We are going to crochet a half double crochet section at the beginning, so in every chain we are going to half double crochet to the end of this first row. It's easy, and we just have to make a rectangle and then put some 2 pockets, so it's very cozy. We are at the end of the row and I have to work one half a double crochet and one more at the last stitch. So I chained 21 chains and I have I think 20 stitches now. For row 2, chain 1 and then find the back loop, and there we're going to half double crochet in back loops only. So chain 1, this does not count as a stitch, and this is the first half double crochet of previous row, and there we are going to insert our hook and work a half double crochet as well, but always in the back loops. So you have to turn a little bit your work to find this V stitch and insert your hook in the back part of this stitch. This is a half double crochet in back loops. You have to watch out how many stitches you have in every row, so we are going to maintain the same number of stitches, and a good idea is to put a marker on our last stitch. So I have to work one more. I can clearly see a V stitch at the end. If you want to make this more easy, you can put a marker on the in this stitch. So again, chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and turn, so you find this back loop and make a half double crochet into every stitch across our row, and you will see that a beautiful texture like a rib pattern is shaped. We are going to work for a total of 12 rows for this, no, 9 rows for this section of half double crochet. I crocheted 9 rows, but you can always do more if you like this border to be wider. This border covers the starting point and the ending point of our rectangle. Now chain 1 and work a double crochet in this first stitch of previous row. Then we should skip one stitch and work a double crochet in next stitch and one double crochet in next stitch, then to work a crossed double crochet stitch we are going to go back and work a double crochet in this skipped stitch. So yarn over, pass in front of the already worked double crochets and insert your hook from behind to the front of your work. This is the stitch and this is the way we are going to work. So I make it slow for you and go from behind to the front and yarn over, pull up a loop, and then normally pull up through 2 loops and pull up through last 2 loops. So we have a crossed double crochet over 3 stitches. This is our main pattern, and we just make a simple double crochet at the beginning and one simple double crochet at the end. In between we need a repetition of 3 stitches. We are going to always skip one stitch, work a double crochet in next stitch and a double crochet in next stitch and go back and work. Here is the skip stitch and I just show how to insert your hook from behind to the front. Yarn over and I wish you will find it easy. It gives a very interesting texture, a lacy style texture in our garment, and the front part from the back part, the wrong side and the right side are pretty similar. For this crossed double crochet section we just need the rule is to have a multiple of 3 plus 2 stitches. Multiple of 3 because the cross stitches are worked over 3 stitches and we have 2 more double crochets, one at the beginning and one at the end. So if you want to make the shawl without working the half double crochet section, where you are going to have a first row of chains that should be a multiple of 3 plus 2. I'm working the last crossed stitch and I have, so at the end of the row you should have 4 stitches. You are going to work the crossed stitch over 3 and work a double crochet in this last stitch. This is our edge stitch and this is the first row of this stitch pattern, and the next row is very simple. So we have the first row already worked, then we're going to crochet row 2 of the main pattern, and to do this we're going to chain 1 at the beginning of the row, and then inserting our hook in normal loops we are going to work a single crochet in the very first stitch and then single crochet in every stitch across the row. Watch out to find every stitch of the 3 of the crossed stitches, because one out of the 3 is a bit smaller but it's a good idea to just count 1 2 3 1 2 3, trying to identify that you have worked all 3 stitches of these crossed double crochets, so you are sure you are working the right amount of single crochets. And then in next row, where we will have to repeat row 1 of the main pattern, we will have the right number of stitches. So I'm working now in last 3 stitches of the crossed stitch, and I have one more. This is the first double crochet, the edge stitch. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So this is my last single crochet, and this is the wrong side of my garment. So turn, and we are going to repeat for all of our work these 2 rows. Again, I'm working row 1, chain 1, and in the very first stitch work your first double crochet. If you want to mark this stitch as the last stitch of your next row, then do it now. We are continuing, skipping 1 stitch, working double crochet in each of next 2 stitches, and then work a double crochet in skipped stitch, moving in front of these double crochets and inserting our hook from behind to the front, then yarn over and pull up a loop, and crochet normally a double crochet. This is a cross stitch. This is my shawl already worked for 19 rows, let's say 19 pair of rows. I say 90, sorry, not 19. I could say 180 rows, but I say 90 as I count as one the double crochet and the single crochet as a pair. Now I'm working on the real shawl, and I'm working my last single crochet, and then turn, chain 1, and I'm ready now to work the normal pattern, double crochet in the very first stitch, and then skip 1 stitch and create this beautiful texture. I believe you will find it easy and very interesting. It gives a dense, let's say, garment, which makes it very warm, and it's the perfect wrap for a reader. So when you sit at your favorite corner of the house and you want to read something or watch some videos, you can use take this shawl and wrap your shoulders. This is the main pattern. This is the wrong side. I believe it's pretty similar to the right side, so it's a good idea. It's nearly a reversible pattern. And now that I have finished my main crossed stitch pattern, I'm going to repeat the half double crochet section, and to do this, after my last single crochet row, I'm going to chain one and then work. You can do it even after your double crochet row. I believe that this is what I'm doing now. So half double crochet in the very first stitch. Again, you watch out that you are going to be working all 3 stitches of crossed stitches. So please count 1, 2, 3 in order to be sure that you don't miss a stitch. And for the moment we are working in normal loops. This first half double crochet row, and I'm at the end now of the first row, and I have 2 more stitches to end this row. So this is my last stitch, and I'm going to turn, and now I'm going to be working in back loops only. So chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and find this back loop, turn a little bit your work so you can see clearly which is the loop, and work a double crochet in very first stitch, and half double crochet, and half double crochet in each stitch across the row. If you are looking to make a gift for some special friend, then it's the easiest pattern to work up. I'm going to crochet 21 chains to make my first pocket. You can do it a bit wider if you want to put many things inside. So for my pocket I have crocheted 21 stitches. And I have worked first the crossed double crochet pattern, and at the end the half double crochet rib pattern, let's say. Once you have finished your foundation row, then yarn over and insert your hook in second chain from the hook and work a double crochet. Then this is my edge stitch, then skip a stitch, skip a chain and work a double crochet in next chain, and a double crochet in next chain. Then you are going to cross, work 1 double crochet in skipped chain, and we have our first crossed stitch. Let's take a moment to open up our work. So skip a stitch and continue working the same pattern. It's not the easiest pattern, but I think it's suitable for a confident beginner to make this shawl. This is my second crossed stitch, and we're going to continue till the end of the row. I'm nearly at the end. I have worked my last crossed stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of 3 stitches, and I'm working my last double crochet. This what I'm doing now is what you can do if you want to start with the crossed stitch pattern. Now I have chained 1, and I am going to single crochet in every stitch to the end of the row, and I'm going to be working for 12 rows in total to achieve the length I want for my pocket. This is my last single crochet. Then I should turn and continue working my pattern. So chain 1, double crochet in very first stitch, and then skip a stitch and work 2 double crochet next 2 stitches till the end of the row, where we have 4 stitches. We are working our pattern in 3 stitches. So skip 1 stitch, double crochet in next, double crochet in next, and double crochet in skipped, and work the last double crochet in the last stitch. And now I have worked all of my rows, and I'm going to turn and start working my half double crochet. So chain 1 and half double crochet in normal loop in this first row, and half double crochet in every stitch to the end. I believe now at the end of the work it's pretty easy to do the crossed double crochet pattern. And I go patiently to the end of the row, take your time, take a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and enjoy the crochet work, which gives us such a relaxing moments. I want to thank you very much for all the love and for the comments you leave, which make me really happy. I have some more stitches to go. And this is my last half double crochet for this row. And then I just work in back loops as before, and that's all. My pocket, after some rows of this ribbing pattern, it's going to be finished. And the only thing I have to do is put the pockets on my shawl and sew them. I put this pocket near the border, so I have just put this where my cross stitch pattern starts and in the middle of my width, and thread a needle, a tapestry needle, and you can put some markers to hold it in place and start sewing from one part, checking every now and then how it looks, and taking care so that it stands um, beautifully on the shawl. It's a very nice yarn. Merinos yarns are very soft and give you warmth and a good feeling when you wear them. But you can use any yarn you want. You can even use a normal yarn, not a sport weight yarn. You can really adjust. Making a sample, you can adjust the number of chains you are going to make as a foundation row. You can easily adjust the total length and the width of the shawl. I have made it a little bit longer than my height. I'm a short woman, but I like it to be long, so I didn't put the pockets right at the bottom of my shawl. You can see now that the sewing makes the pocket stand very nicely. Thank you very much for all your love. I'm waiting for your comments. You can find this pattern on Etsy and on my Ravelry shop. And take care of yourself, keep well, and keep crocheting. Bye!